What is going down, party people? How we feeling today? Heidi ho, mammals. How we feeling? How we doing, man? Good to see everyone today. It has been a very, very good weekend for me. Very busy. Had a lot of stuff going on, even today as well. But hopefully, your guys' day has been just as good as mine. Because I've had a pretty damn good day, actually. Right? I got a lot of stuff done today. And I'm just very glad to be here, hanging out with every single one of you guys for another fantastic live stream. See, we got in the chat so far. Squirrely Nuts, good to see you. My man, Jock, good to see you as well. Shadow Ghost, hello, hello, hello. What's up, Mayo Gang? Lucas Etheridge, hello. Mr. Savage, 710. There we go, baby. Love to see you. It wouldn't be the same if you weren't here, Mr. Savage 10. Only Fidel's, my main man. How you doing, man? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? We already got someone donating with a $5 donation. Thank you, man. You do not have to go ahead and give your donations out, but much appreciated all the same. Pew Pew, how are you? We love you, Pew Pew. You know it's true. Designer sport, maybe, but the other 20% is all you. Good to have you on the stream. Word to Andrew, good to have you here. Brewer, my man, good to see you as well, man. Good to have everyone. Ackright, hello, hello, hello. Ronan, Skibbity, man. Skibbity indeed, man. Darwin's Robert, good to see you as well. Casper, good to see you as well, my man. Good to see everyone. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to leave a like on this live stream. Share around with as many people as you possibly can. Let people know that the live streams are where it's at, especially if you want to hang out with the rest of the Airsoft community. I see we're a little bit over 20-something viewers, but only at 7 likes, guys. Make sure to leave a like on this stream. Let people know that, again, if they want to increase their chances of winning the next shopping spree giveaway, they got to make sure that they get their entries in now. Of course, right, we got the promotions to help you guys out as much as possible. Every $50 you spend, we'll be getting you 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway, right? Every 50 you spend gets you 5 entries. So, yeah, I turned the music down. Yeah, tune down. Yeah. Turn it down. You good, man. You good. Victor Montes, hello, buddy. Good to see you too, man. And of course, once you get 350 or higher, you automatically get 50 entries into the shopping spree giveaway as well. Again, plenty of opportunities, plenty of chances, plenty of opportunities. These opportunities are open to literally anyone that wants to go ahead and take advantage right now while they can. And of course, we have the 900K sub celebration. Mr. Box, for those that don't know what the hell that title is referring to, just recently, we surpassed 900K subs on YouTube. Our main YouTube channel was able to surpass 900K subscribers, and honestly, that is a fucking momentous achievement that we were able to achieve, and I'm very glad that we were able to do it. That is a very big milestone for us, and we are that much closer to reaching 1 million subscribers, and I'm very much looking forward to the day when that happens. Hopefully, within less than a year's time, maybe even before the end of this year, before 2025 hits us right square in the face, we'll be able to reach 1 mil. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? That would actually be insane. But yeah, man, I'm very much looking forward to that. But again, not only can you get this mystery box with a chance to win some dope prizes, but 20 entries into the very next shopping spree giveaway as well. And you automatically get free shipping as well. All good things there. And I'll leave a link to that bad boy into the live chat as well. If you guys don't know what I'm referring to when I say the shopping spree giveaway, it's very easy. It's very, very simple. The shopping spree giveaway is absolutely goated. We've been doing it for over 2 years. The winnings are real, right? And again, anyone can be the winner. It can literally go to anyone, but you never know unless you play. So any $20 greater order gets you in. But these promotions that you see here on the, for me, it's the left side. For you guys, it's probably, anyway, it's inverted for some. But yes, on the side right there, all the promos that you see, those are only active during the duration of the live stream. So make sure to take advantage of those while you guys can. Because again, it's not going to last forever. 9:30 is when this stream is scheduled to come to a close. So don't miss out. Remember, like I've been saying, share this around with as many people as possible. Let's get all eyes on this. Social media has definitely not been doing anything in terms of being able to share our content around organically. So it really helps us out when you guys share these live streams around. Cosmic, hello. Good to see you as well, Cosmic. Good to have you back on the stream as well. We also have a ton of newer products as well that we actually got listed fairly recently. We have some more new combos as well, including some field-ready combos. At return of those, I know a lot of you guys have been very much eyeing a lot of these guys, right? Pre-built combos, so you don't have to worry about getting any accessories. They're already built and ready to go. These actually look pretty fucking sick. We did a really good job putting this one together, especially. This one's my favorite so far, but there's going to be like a ton more. Like a lot more, right? More Cthulhu combo packages as well, right? If you guys wanted to go ahead and get a little more value there as well. Some more BCM models as well. Some Lancer BCM guns that we got added to the site as well. These are all going to be using the same internals that you would come and love to expect from our Lance Tactical Gen 3 lineup, but they're going to come included, of course, with the BCM full treatment, including the gunfighter stock and, of course, the handguard in a variety of different lengths for your pleasure, of course, right? These are all going to be retailing right now at about $220 right now, which is insane. It's really freaking good, and they look great. Another one that I'm going to suggest that you all take a look at is just the standard Gen 2s and Gen 3s. Why? Because for those that didn't hear about the good news, Gen 2 and Gen 3 Lancers actually have dropped in price. This is actually very unprecedented right now. I was genuinely not expecting that. They've been moving quite well. Like, there are you guys don't understand how many Gen 2s move. It's pretty insane. Like, the most popular Gen 2s sell like hundreds of thousands of units, right? Regularly. So the fact that we're able to go out and get some like more Gen 2s and Gen 3s, mind you, which Gen 3s are freaking goated, and now a lot of them are going to be retailing for less than $200. Gen 3s used to go for like, what, $234? I think some of the higher end ones of the Gen 3s used to go for like $230, $240. They're less than $200 now. I'm not even joking. Look at this one. This is the Helion, my favorite of the Gen 3 lineup, right? The Helion series, no matter which color variation, this one is just really, really cool in the tan and the black a little bit. This one normally would have gone for like $234 like not too long ago. But again, that price reduction is really coming in clutch. So if you know anyone that is looking to get started in Airsoft, maybe yourself are trying to get into it, or maybe you're trying to give recommendations to someone you know, but they had a little bit too tight of a budget. Now, that budget honestly has a lot more options available to it, and I'm very much grateful for that. I very much am happy. Boaz and I were talking about this, that if a lot of these price reduction, Lancer AGs were available at the time when we started playing, we would have picked these up in an instant. We would have 100. If they existed at the time we had, even at full price, we still 100% would have saved, pinched our shekels, as he likes to say, and 100% would have invested into one of those, just because, again, the sheer value of what you're getting. So it's good to know that there are still more continuously growing like options for beginner players, which again, that's the whole big thing, right? And that's actually going to be tying into today's topic as well. Am I destroying Airsoft? This is actually a very, very serious topic. If you guys didn't watch our latest video that dropped last Friday, first and foremost, make sure to go on and give that a watch as well. Make sure to leave a like on that video, and of course, hit that bell icon so you're subscribed every time we drop content like that, or this live stream, right? Those are always very important. But again, making sure to like the videos is very important, of course, right? But we did talk directly about what actually could be destroying Airsoft. What is affecting Airsoft? Is it like what's causing it, or rather I should say stunting its growth? What are some things that we're actively doing, that are causing, the death of Airsoft? Maybe it's something that you don't even realize that you're doing. It could be very well the thing, right? That's a lot of people. Even myself am sometimes having guilty about this until we've maybe discussed it in further detail, and then it kind of opened our eyes and was like, oh shit, like this actually could lead to a bit of an issue, right? This could be an actual problem if we go about it this way in the long run, right? Of course, I like to think that no one here in the chat, especially those that are watching, I think all of you guys are freaking great. And I appreciate all your viewers, of course, right? And I don't think anyone would necessarily go out of their way here, at least that's watching, go out of their way to do anything that would be a detriment to the growth of this amazing hobby that we all know and love. I really don't think any of us would be like that. However, there may be some things that we're doing unintentionally that we just didn't realize actually might be more damaging or have more of an effect than we might have initially realized. Darwin's Outer, thank you so much for the $2 donation, my guy. Absolutely freaking goated, man. I freaking love you. Opinion on anodized dark green rails is a vibe? Honestly, I think so. I don't think we get enough like either foliage or like OD green in general in terms of airsoft. I know they used to have a few more options back in the day, but I actually have my in my collection, I have a very old, like this thing is old. This thing is really old. It's a very old classic Army like it was M15A2, it was M16A2. M15A2, that's what they called it, right? The M16A2, right? It's got the freaking Armalite trades on there and everything. That's how you know it's old. That's how you know it's old. But it has the OD green handguard and pistol grip and full stock, full M16 stock on there. It's pretty funny. I was like, I saw it though, and I'm like, This looks absolutely amazing. That looks freaking cool, man. But yeah, I have one of those in my collection. Remember, guys, this is also a Q&A live stream, so while I'm going on about today's topic with my special guest, which, yes, I do have a special guest for tonight, while we're talking about the topic, feel free to chime in as well, or if you have any related questions to it, or just you want to ask me anything in general, you're more than welcome to do so. Put the letter Q in front of the question, and it's going to make it a lot easier for me to see. I don't mind if it ends up being a question that I've answered beforehand in terms of like maybe someone else is answering it. I don't care, right? I want to help out as many people as I possibly can. That's the whole reason why I do live streams in the first place, because I want to make sure that I give out as accurate information as I possibly can give as I am aware of it, right? I want to help out anyone that might be trying to start off, or I want to help someone that maybe is trying to get back into Airsoft and they don't know where to start, or maybe someone that has been in here for a long time and needs an opinion on maybe some new project, potentially maybe a new little something to go in and give, and they just want some confirmation about a few things. By all means, you're more than welcome to put your question down into the live chat. Now, for today's guest, I have someone very special, and of course, who has become actually very, very dear to me, because again, they are actually just really one of the coolest guys that I've actually had the pleasure of meeting thanks to the live streams that we do. He's been a guest beforehand. He is an absolute Giga Chad. He is I like to call him the up-and-coming content creator for the Airsoft content creator, because again, he's got a lot of good stuff, and he has been very, very consistent. This man is an absolute legend in our Mayo Gang community. It's my man, Squirrely Nuts. Squirrely Nuts is going to be joining me for today's little discussion. I'm going to go ahead and give him a call right now. Let's go ahead and give him a call. And remember, feel free to ask your questions and chime in on the conversations as well. Let's go ahead and give him a call. There we go. Raise that all the way up. Hello, is this Mr. Squirrely Nuts?
Hello.
There you go. Can I get a battle cry?
Me!
I don't know why. That shit. Oh, every time after every video that I see of yours, every time I hear that, or any live stream when you end with that, it always just brings a little smile on my face. What's going on, man? How's your day going so far?
Oh, it is going not too bad. You know, actually like a steady paced work day, so it wasn't horrible.
Okay, that's
wasn't
good.
Wasn't as hot as it's been.
Dude, I think yesterday here in SoCal, it was like the hottest it's been this entire summer. It's actually been really, really hot. And not just hot, it's also humid. And I don't jive with that. I don't like humidity.
See, out here in the Midwest, I live in the humidity. It's bad, man. I clock into work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm instantly sweating.
That just sounds like Florida. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there.
Well, and I work in a auto shop, a dealership, so kind of out in the elements to a point.
Yeah, no, I can imagine in those garages it get freaking hot as hell. But okay, so for every single one of my guests, I do like to go ahead and give a little bit of an introduction. Of course, I like to roll out the red carpet just in case, they maybe have their own content, which you are indeed a content creator as well. Feel free to go ahead and give yourself a quick little plug before we go ahead and jump on into today's topic.
All right, I'm Squirrely Nuts of Squirrely Nuts Airsoft on YouTube. Go ahead, go check out the channel. I got lots of stuff going on. I do live streams twice a week. I got mine Talking Tactical tomorrow night, actually, 8 p.m. Central. And then Monday nights I do a game stream, also 8 p.m. Central, where currently I am still going through God of War Ragnarok.
That is a great game, actually, by the way. I do like that game a lot.
Oh, yeah. I've already beaten it once, so this is just a wee fun run through.
It's a nice little playthrough. Maybe find some things that I haven't already explored. Did you 100% the game yet or not yet?
No, I still, like, in my original save, I still had to go through and get all the Valkyries and all the Jotnar Soul fights. Plus, I still have to go through the Valhalla expansion.
Oh, yeah, which, by the way, was actually goated, too.
Yeah, I heard and saw a bunch of cutscenes, so I kind of already know the ending of that story, and it got me. It really did. Boof. Kratos has been through a lot, and the end of that is
that man.
What that man deserves.
That man needs therapy. But all right, so cool.
Yeah.
We got the little red carpet out the way for you as well. So I'm sure at some point or another you have maybe seen some. We've all seen it before, right? Everyone feel free to go on and jump in on this as well. Again, put your opinions and your questions down in the live chat. But we've all experienced this before, where we have seen some behaviors that, of course, are damaging or really put a negative impact on the airsoft community. I'm sure you're no stranger to that as well, as you've been, again, posting out content for some time now at this point. But there are some things that I think that we actually do as a airsoft community, and this just goes for even guys like you and I, right? That we do things that maybe we don't think about it at the time, but actually might cause a little bit more damage than we actually might realize. And maybe some people don't actually don't know this, or if they didn't watch the video, you saw the YouTube video, right? The one that premiered on Friday. You saw our latest video, right?
Oh yeah. There's a couple of sections of that where I was like 100% correct. The mag dumps are no.
No, those are definitely like things that like for sure can cause like a lot of issues with your fellow player, and they're just really mean spirited. I never understand why a lot of people would jump into games like that and just. I don't know, like maybe they're having a bad day. Like I genuinely don't know what goes on in their head to think, hey, this would be real. Oh, excuse me. I had too much LaCroix all at once. I don't know what would cause someone to want to do that, right? To literally inflict pain upon someone, especially when it's a kid. I get the edgy jokes here and there, which by the way is totally fine. We can totally make out of pocket, maybe unhinged, like jokes like that every once in a while, and it's fine. You know what I mean? As long as we're not really doing anything to really encourage that. But obviously we see some people doing it, and that's a really bad problem. One of the things, though, that I wanted to bring up that Cisco had mentioned in the latest video was his mention of seeing bad behavior on the field, like maybe seeing like someone being overly aggressive, seeing someone who wants to say like if we hear, because we've heard it before, it's like, oh, this guy didn't call, I said I'm a mag dump him real quick. I've heard that many a times, and that's something maybe a lot of players like us maybe don't say anything about it. We don't, because I get it, we don't want to be involved. Have you ever been in that situation where you've heard a player that was like maybe being a little bit too aggro, or was just kind of getting a little confrontational, and you were just like, okay, I'm just going to walk away from this? Has that ever happened to you?
I've even had my little snap fit moments. I'm human. It happens.
It happens. We're all human, man.
I've seen plenty of people. Dude, most of my seeing people snap and do stuff like that, actually, I think I caught a couple of times when I went to Burlington in the footage of somebody losing their mind over like no hit calls or stuff like that, and it's like, dude, just chill. Like I'm.
Oh no, go for it.
And like even to the point where, like the event coordinator who was trying to get in and play some of the game, who actually was like my CO, I watched him see some dude shoot like a couple people that were out, and told the ref told him he was out, get out. They're being like ejected from the game, and then the dude like shoved somebody, and like it just escalated. What? Yeah, and so like the event coordinator dude, I watched him literally unclip his rifle from his sling, throw it down on a countertop right next to him, and charge right through the middle of gunfire to go like grab this dude and yank him outside.
What the hell? That's insane. It sounds like a WWE match.
Yeah, it's like what was it? A Sheboygan. There was actually another physical altercation that happened. I'm sure somebody out there actually got it on video, because I know they were pulling up the GoPros when they were showing like all the refs and everything. And one of my buddies that was there that went with me, he actually was like right there and saw a lot of it go down too. But it was teammate on teammate. Like a dude rounded the corner and the other dude like just like practically swung on him just for no reason, and it was like, what?
Jesus Christ, dude. That sounds fucking gnarly. No, I have seen a fair share of airsoft arguments. I've never been, thank God, in a actual like things got physical fight before, and God, hoping I never have to encounter someone like that. So again, when you see videos like this, I can understand why a lot of people, when they see maybe someone being a little bit too aggro on the field, like one thing that I do hear a lot every once in a while, depending on the field I go to, is maybe someone yelling someone else's hits for them. Like they'll be shooting and they'll be like, you know the one I'm talking about. Yeah, where it's like, they're shooting and they're like, oh, I got you, call your hits, right? And it's like, realistically, you're more than likely just actually not hitting them. That's another thing too. In airsoft, no matter how good of a shot you may be, maybe have your ego checked. You're not as good as you think you are. That's just a reality check for everyone, right? But just whenever I see that, right? Again, I've had this before, especially when I was younger. I just didn't want to be involved in that. I didn't want to be involved in that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, come in between anyone. Because again, I don't really want to parent anyone. You know what I mean? Like I'm not your dad. I'm not your mom. I don't want to like hold your hand and police you what your behavior and everything like that. Especially now, because there's always that thought of me as like, okay, there is a chance someone will recognize me, right, on the field. Now, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, they're gonna know who I am. Like I'm not trying to be like that, but like there is a slight chance they might know who I am. And then they're gonna go ahead and make a video being like, "Oh, Airsoft GI is the Airsoft like Nazi." You know what I mean? Like they're policing everything we do. Right? Like, I just don't want to be that. But that actually can lead to a bigger problem where if we don't say anything like that, if we see behaviors like this or actions being inflicted upon someone else, or before it becomes a huge thing, right? Before it becomes this massive argument in apparently this WWE SmackDown Raw event, it probably is a good idea to actually maybe confront this player, not like aggressively, and that's a tip for everyone, not aggressively, but maybe say something along the lines of like, hey man, I actually don't think you're actually hitting them. Your BBs actually might be, veering off course, or like, hey, there's a bit of a cross breeze. Your BBs actually might be not hitting them at all, right? Like just something like that along those lines. It's like, hey man, it's just a game. You know what I mean? Like if he's not calling it, just tell the ref, right? You don't have to be super aggro about it. And Boaz is actually really good about that, and I've been trying to get better at it as well, because again, if we don't say anything like that, it could end up devolving into a much bigger thing. Just don't let it turn into a massive fight. What are some things that you've had to say to other players when you've encountered something like that?
The couple of times where I've been around like people getting, going aggro or just like freaking out because they're not calling hits, and all I really say is just chill, man. I mean, I'm a mechanic, so I'm the king of like mumble to myself when I'm frustrated.
that is a stereotype of mechanics. I was about to ask about that too.
Yeah, so even like in those moments where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm hitting and they're not calling their hit, and I'm just like, just call your hit, just call your hit, just call your hit. I'm just gonna keep shooting, just call your hit. I'm gonna keep going. But since I'm filming, I gotta keep my mouth shut. I can't I can't say anything, so it's kind of a control.
Is it true? Because you won that you were also Army, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Army as well, and then of course became mechanic. So you have two stereotypes that, or two positions where the stereotype is you have a massive sailor mouth. Is this true?
Oh, 100% true.
Yep.
I mean, I've been working on cars for like a third of my life. I went to school for it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and the Army came later in my life. So, and I also grew up in a biker/Navy household.
Oh shit. Shit. That's hardcore.
So when I say I've said in a previous live that I'm trying to censor myself more as I'm getting closer to like 1,000 subscribers, because the overlords don't like foul language so much.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
And I police myself a lot since I've started the channel, but the F word is my favorite word. Yeah.
It's so good. It
works for everything.
It's such a good word. You can use it as an adjective for almost anything, or an adverb. Like, it's just the perfect like combo. It's like French fries and a cheeseburger. They just absolutely go with each other. What does my mom always say? My mom actually grew up in like Compton, so she's like, kind of got a little bit of that hood in her, right? So she's always saying like, it's not a good insult unless you add the word like, like maybe like you drop like an F-bomb like right before, maybe after or something. You got to add a little something something to the insult, just to make it like truly like spicy, and I get it. So I can imagine where if you're having to like police yourself more, it's like if you want to say something, it's like, you hear someone going super aggro and you want to say something, right? You got to be like, wait a minute, Is this what I am about to say? Is the words about to leave my mouth? Is that appropriate, or will this give me even more hot water?
Like, I try to keep my cool on the field, but I tell you what, in reload times, before, after games, during lunch, you're going to hear stuff come out of my mouth that you never thought you would hear. like
I didn't even know that was a word.
Yep, it's some people, like, when they first meet me and I just immediately let loose and normal conversation speak, they're just like, that's colorful language.
Oh, I didn't realize I was back in the Navy again. All right, guys, remember to get those orders in now while you guys can. Remember, every $50 you spend, we're getting you 5 entries into the next shopping spree giveaway. And of course, once your order reaches $350 or higher in the subtotal, you automatically qualify for 50 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. However, if you want the best deal possible, order yourself the 900K Sub Celebration Mystery Box. Every order you place with us at Airsoft GI directly supports the channel, keeps the cameras rolling, keeps the lights on, and this mystery box is a celebration of us getting this much closer to reaching 1 million subscribers. So make sure, if you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time, and hit that like button. We need to know, you guys like the content you're seeing? If so, make sure to let us know. And I see we already have a question. Oliver, are you dropping a vid about Specna Arms Edge 2.0. We did mention them a little while back when we were giving sort of like an overview of like Specna when we first started carrying them. I think we did mention the Edge 2.0 series, that those were actually really, really cool. And I also saw another question earlier where someone was asking, whether they should go with, a certain gun brand that we don't carry, an SSR4 or the ASGI MGC4 Mark II. I'm going to say this. If you like overpaying, by all means, go with the other option, because I'm not even bullshitting you. Draken Knight, they come from the exact same factory. No bullshit. Like, literally, they come from the exact same factory. But the MGC4, we get to choose every single specific component that goes into it. It's a much better deal what you are exactly getting. And again, there are so many different colorways and options. They're all discounted too right now, which is absolutely insane. I believe they should all be discounted for sub $300 right now. I'm going to send you a link for those into the live chat. Yeah, okay, so they're back to regular price. But even then, I would still 100% recommend it. If you don't believe me, ask anyone that's owned one. They'll tell you the exact same thing as well. And whether or not, Oliver, it's a good starter gun for Airsoft, if it's in your budget, I would say go for it. But I would think that there are better options, especially for the money. I would say go for a Gen 3 Lancer, maybe even go for a Classic Army Skirmish. But those are my personal preferences as well. And last question, Jaw. So do you have LMG recommendations for an LMG, preferably M249? I know both Squirrely and I are both like, ooh. I know.
Oh, buddy.
We both got, if you wanted 249s, there's a lot of options. If you want full metal and a budget, and one that I would have given Squirrely in his mystery box had it been in stock at the time. I'm not even bullshitting. I would have 100% given this one to you. I swear to God, man, it was 100% sold out, and I just did not have it anymore. But it's discounted right now to $347, which actually, hold on, that's actually fucking insane. $347, that's the one that I would recommend, the Classic Army M249. But a good second option would be the A&K one. The polymer body one is actually kind of cool because you actually save a bit of money, like about $100 compared to the $500 one. The upside with the A&K ones is that they come included with the box mag. But you've had a little bit of experiences with that one as well. Want to give your 2 thoughts on that as well?
The A&K that you sent me in the mystery box, that is the only 249 that I've had a lot of experience with. It's a Mark 46, but it's the same thing. Yeah. It is the one that I got sent was the all polymer body. Being somebody who's used the real thing, if you were looking for an LMG and it is your first one, buy the polymer one. Hands down, I am telling you this from personal experience. You are not going to be ready for the extra weight of a full metal body out the gate if you've never carried one of these things before. Also, saving the money helps a lot. Plus, standard 249 gearbox, fully upgradable, super duper simple. Anybody could tech that thing out.
Yeah, these things are pretty easy for like most techs to work. I'm not even a tech, and I opened mine up, and I was able to go ahead and do like some installs into the gearbox. Granted, could it have been better? Yes, but it was serviceable. I got it to work before I had my tech redo it again when I wanted even more stuff in there.
Actually, I was working on my LMG right before the stream. I just got my unicorn barrel in from you guys.
Hey!
So now it's got a 370 millimeter unicorn stainless steel barrel in it, backed with a bull gear hop up.
Hell yeah. Honestly,
So-
now you have what is essentially an R-hopped sniper LMG, because I'm not even joking. When I put those two together, right, first of all, you already got the unicorn barrel, which already kind of got you like R-hop levels of consistency. But now the fact that you actually have a bull gear hop-up chamber, that just bumps it up to like the next level, because now you actually can do a legit like R-hop on it. I'm not joking, dude. I've gotten some like actually like legitimate long range kills with the 249 like setup, very similar to that barrel setup. It's insane. You have a literal DMR now at this point.
Yeah, and I actually accidentally read my caliper wrong when I measured the nozzle when I first tore it apart. Ordered the wrong nozzle, then I reordered, so I got a max nozzle, on stainless steel nozzle or aluminum.
Yeah. I believe most of them are gonna
double
be using...
O-ring nozzles.
Yeah, yeah, those are freaking good. Those are actually really, really sick too. You do got to do a little bit of like fitment there. Obviously, make sure everything's all set.
Oh yeah,
good to go. Because for some reason, Max, like, oh my god, they work great, but you really gotta like fine tune that shit, because you can't. It's not a drop in. It is not a drop in component.
No.
You will get feeding issues if you just drop it in and don't actually tune it. Ask any tech and they'll tell you the exact same thing. Garland Freeman, is your internet going to shut? Screw you, screw you, man. You know, I know exactly who this guy is. I know exactly who this guy is. This guy comes into my shop, harasses me all day. He comes in. And literally, even his significant other, she's always telling me, "I'm sorry about him. He just really likes to joke around." No, he's a homie. He's 100% a homie. Which, Garland, I saw your DM. Let's just say you will be probably very happy with the mystery box that you ordered, my man. You'll be probably very happy. So you know me, man. I always try to like every time I see requests for like mystery box in the notes comment section. Obviously, if it's not like the 900K where it's like, you know, a preset prizes, I really do try my best to give everyone what it is that they actually want, and really help everyone. You know, I've tried to help you out too.
Oh, dude, no, you totally hooked me up with your private collection box, but I actually thought it was if it wasn't for the trip coming up to South Carolina for Shadowlands, I was thinking about picking. I wish I could pick up the 900K mystery box, and I was just gonna drop in the comments in all caps, "I dare you to send me the monster box."
Bet you won't. And I'm like, shit, I gotta do it now. Now I wish that's how balls. That worked. No balls, you won't send it. Damn it! I gotta do it now. He double dog dared me. Mech Rebellion, doesn't airsoft sniper rifle actually have more range access than an M4, or is it pretty close and more for looks? Depends on the one you're talking about. And out the box, they're typically going to have very similar. If anything, I would say most like modern, like manufactured ARs, M4s, M16s actually probably have better range than a lot of sniper rifles out the box. But sniper rifles do have the unique advantage, depending on the field you go to be built out to have significantly more power and thereby a lot more range compared to a lot of other platforms out there. So it all just depends. But yeah, that's going back to the original topic. That's one thing that we see that actually really does damage airsoft in the long run, is seeing behaviors that you see on the field from other players and then no one really doing anything about it. Again, I'm not saying that anyone should be just intervening. You know, if someone sees an airsoft fight, don't jump in and be like, "Oh, sweet, I got a tussle that I can join in." No, not that. Just do what you can to try to de-escalate situations before they become much bigger situations. Is the solution at that point. The other thing that I had noticed too, that if I remember correctly, was like someone not talking about, you know, themselves actually playing airsoft. Now, I understand if people have like maybe a job or some type of like career where, you know, maybe they don't look too fondly on firearms adjacent or related content. Not these are toys, so they're not real firearms. But again, we're using YouTube logic here and social media logic, which is gun shaped bad, right? So
yeah.
So
it's just a silhouette.
It's just a silhouette, right? I can maybe understand that, right? So if you have maybe a position or a job where it's like, hey, we don't like this sort of content. I've met people like that who work in like very big, like corporate America, like auditing Fortune 500 companies, right? That like, hey, they even see anything remotely questionable, you are fired. Like genuinely, it's in the contract. So I get that, and if you're in that position, it makes sense. However, I think in general, for the vast majority of us, since it really doesn't matter for us, like, I mean, I can't imagine your owner of the like the shop, a mechanic, right, is going to be like, why are you playing with toy guns? I'm pretty sure they're not going to give a fuck. If anything, they're probably going to ask you, hey, what's this? This looks pretty cool, right? Like,
the guy who hired me plays Airsoft.
Oh my God, that's awesome! That is so cool.
The owner of the dealership, actually, I've talked about it with him before, and he's like, "Oh, that's really cool."
Yeah, no, like I've shown it to my personal like family friend, like my mechanic's my family friend. He's been basically part of the family for years. Like he's like I've made the mistake, especially when I was a kid, when I had my first car, I accidentally would leave some of my airsoft guns without a bag in the trunk. So whenever I checked in my car, for the weekend to get worked on, he'd open up the trunk and be like, I should probably close this. And he got scared a couple times. He's like, shit, I didn't think he was packing this much heat. He called me about it. He's like, so I think you left your guns. I was like, oh, dude, those are toys. And he's like, oh my God, I thought those were real.
Oh, yeah, no, well, here, like, dude, I don't know how many cars I've worked on where I pop the door open and there's a pistol just sitting right there in the door.
Just like, right, that's not airsoft.
Yeah, no, well, we like the real steel stuff here in this state, so everybody has one. Like almost everybody does, at least. Like it's like I just kind of look at it and go, "Huh, that shouldn't be loaded."
Have you ever had to like take them out and like actually been like, "Oh shit, this one actually is loaded and primed to go"?
Oh yeah, no, I've because some people obviously. PSA to anybody who's listening with real steel stuff, if you're going to carry in your car, put it in a car case or a car vault. Don't just leave it in your glove box, because guess what? Mechanics have to get to your cabin air filter sometimes, which means they have to handle your self-defense weapon.
Yeah, no, I always, when I hear stories like that where it's like, oh, they left the gun in their car, I'm like, why would they leave that? Like, just bring it with you. Like, that's not, I don't know.
Exactly. You have the permit to carry, just take it with you out of the car. I
imagine like getting a concealed weapons permit, like, is probably a lot easier where you are. So why would you just leave it? Also, someone could just steal that, you know what I mean? Depending on who your mechanic is.
Exactly. You don't and plus if you go to if you take your car to a place like Wally World for some strange reason, you never know who's going to be in there. So
do you guys actually call Walmart Wally World, like, unironically where you guys are from, or no?
Yeah. No, like all the time, dude.
Oh, okay. I was just like, because I've seen it said ironically, of course, right? Because like, oh, fucking, I'm from the land of hipsters and shit, right? Where we all just say it like unironically. Oh, I'm from the Midwest. I say Wally World, but I've never actually heard anyone genuinely say it that way. I needed to confirm that.
No, we say it all the time here. That's like, I hate going to that place, but it's the cheapest place in town.
Dude, every time I go in,
I don't have many options.
Every time I go into a Walmart, I feel like I'm having an anxiety attack. There's just so much shit going on. There's like kids running around. There's old ladies fighting. The cashier, the music they got playing is too loud. Dude, I want to put on some like noise canceling headphones and just get my shopping done and then leave. But yeah, one of the other things too was that I was not like sharing the fact that you actually play airsoft, right? We're trying to keep it as like a weird closeted hobby for some reason. There's nothing to be ashamed of, man. Like, airsoft is a really, really cool hobby. Like, I always, the only embarrassing part about airsoft, at least for me, is the fact that like I'm always finding myself in that situation where I have to say, oddly enough, less nowadays. I think more and more people are realizing what it is, which is cool. Is that I'll say I play airsoft, and then people would be like, "Oh, what's that?" And I have to do the whole like song and dance of like giving the explanation as to what airsoft actually is. Right? I'm like, it's like paintball, where you shoot each other on a field. You shoot with 6mm plastic. I do the whole spiel about it. And it's fine. I'll do it as many times as I have to, right? Because again, I want people to know what it is I do. Whether it be with, when I before I, decided to ultimately start being my own personal barber and cutting my own hair, right? I would always tell like anyone that cuts my hair, like when they ask, "Oh, what do you do for a living, dog?" And I, always tell them like, "Oh yeah, I play airsoft," right? Or whether it be family, friends, even family members of like the significant other for my little brother, I'll like tell them about what I do. My grandma has no idea what it is that I do. She genuinely has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about whenever I tell her what it is that I do. She looks at me like she is so confused because I come from a line of like truck drivers. For like pretty much every dude on my mom's side of the family, they're all truck drivers, right? They're all truck drivers. They all work for like either lumber companies, maybe a few of them are mechanics as well. I have a few mechanics in the family. Pretty much all stuff like that, right? Very much like blue collar, like working jobs, right? So the minute that I tell them like, "Oh yeah, I work with toy guns," and I go on YouTube and I make silly videos, they're just looking at me like, "What the fuck? Like what? Where did the bloodline go wrong?" Right? But I don't care.
I think it's funny because I don't like I talk about it with everybody at work, like whether they play or not. It's because it's one of the things I do. I talk about it like it's a second, like my YouTubing stuff is I talk about it. It's like, "Oh, what are you doing after work?" "Oh, I'm going to work."
I got my other job.
Yeah, like that's how I treat it. Like most people know what nights I stream, so they're just like, "What time is your stream again?" "Okay, I'll leave you alone for like an hour." "Okay, thanks."
Does your boss watch your streams too?
Not the. I know one of my bosses does occasionally, because we actually kind of hang out every once in a while. So,
Sure.
A couple of people at work have occasionally watched stuff. It's just pretty much when I show them stuff. But there's some people that do. Around here, I know like there's the standard, like my closest friends are like my guaranteed regulars.
Yeah, no, I get that. Freaking dude, it's so weird and it's jarring to me. It's such a weird world that I live in, where like apparently my dad actually would every once in a while, he's chimed in on the live streams before. My little brother watches the streams. They even got my mom to like watch every once in a while too. So whenever Bossman goes on one of those weird tangents where it's like turns a little like oddly sus,
Yeah.
right, or a little sussy, I'm like, "Stop, my mom watches."
What was funny is I tried to get my mom to watch my videos a few times, and she's like, I don't have a YouTube account." I was like, "You don't have to. You just type in my channel.
You don't have to
go
have
through
an account
and
to watch."
And there was one time she like got a hold of me after one of my streams. She's like, "I tried watching your stream and showing Grandma." I was like, "Oh wow, okay." Depending on the video or the stream.
That's so funny. You know what though? That's kind of a valid point. Considering the way like any sort of streaming service like works, right? You do have to have an account in order to watch stuff. So I guess I can kind of make sense. Yeah, Casper. Wait, so we can't talk about Skinamax anymore? I mean, Casper, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. You guys can do whatever you want. It's just funny because I'll just be like and she'll even say it too, and she's giving me the compliment where it's like, "Oh yeah, I watch your streams. You seem really, I like your streams. You seem really genuine. You seem like you're enjoying it," which I do. And I'm like, "Thank you. That's actually very impressive." She's like, "It seems like you're not always constantly shilling out all the time." And I'm like, "That's impressive considering it's my job to shill out and sell products." So considering we're a retailer and I have to do that. But she seems to enjoy it, and that's like kind of a big thing for me, which I always really appreciate. But that is pretty funny that like she thought you had to have a subscribe. You have to have an account to watch. Dude, that's cute.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, she tried. She still supports the channel and everything. I mean, even after I know she's kind of like immobile after the stroke, but she still supports everything.
How's she doing, by the way? On a serious note, is she doing all right?
Yeah, she's doing all right. We just we made some pretty big decisions in just her long-term health and comfort. So
Gotcha.
she's doing good. She's doing good. She just went through a spell of bad moment, but she's coming out of it.
Okay, I'm glad that at least things are looking up, at least to an extent on that front, honestly, because that was something I remember you mentioning. I was like a little worried about. I didn't want to press you too hard about it because it's not my business, but still, I just want to make sure she's all good. Which, by the way, for anyone that was wondering, I unintentionally, I think I might have like scared Chad a little bit when last week when you had to attend your emergency. I put down, he's going through a family emergency right now. Let's not press him. Hopefully everything's okay with him. And I was like, oh shit, I might have blown it out of proportion.
Last week, I like I told you in Discord. Last week, it wasn't a family emergency. A friend snapped his chain on his motorcycle and needed help. So,
when I saw that message, I was like, whoa, dodged a bullet on that one.
Yeah. So it was just like oh no, I ain't leaving a dude stranded on the side of the road.
Yeah, no, good, 100%. That's a homie right there. Never, if anyone knows any friend, if they text you like, "Hey, I need to pick up," be that friend. Pick them up. Don't be a jerk. I've had that happen before. It's happened recently where even Boaz's car broke down. Literally, as he was super close to work, and I had to go pick him up. Just be that friend. Be that friend. Everyone will always appreciate you for the rest of your life if you're willing to go in and pick them up, even if it's like 2 a.m. Trust me, everyone needs a friend like that. But yes, that is another thing too that like I think that everyone can do in general. That's going to be, again, something that is positive and it is going to be great for the growth of Airsoft, is just making sure that if you do play Airsoft, just let people know about it and let people know what it is that you do. Because if we don't have people talking about Airsoft like it is a regular thing, right, like just any other hobby, like going to the gym, playing video games, maybe like building cars, something like working on project cars, like that's a normal thing that people can do, and Airsoft is one of those things, right? Anyone can do it. Doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you can hold up the airsoft gun. I wouldn't want a toddler playing, that would be bad. But as long as you are mature enough to be able to handle it, anyone should be able to play Airsoft, and everyone needs to talk about it. Because if we're all just kind of in the closet about it, you know what I mean? Like, not to be too on the nose here, but, if we're all just hiding in the closet, and we don't talk about it like it's a normal thing, then, like 100%, and it's not going to grow because no one's going to be talking about it at that point. It's going to become a taboo to be talking about it. That's how we make things and normalize things, is just by fucking talking about it. That's literally the easiest thing to do it.
I show off my builds, like pictures of my builds and everything after I paint them and stuff to everybody. Like, people show off their cars or their kids. Like, hey, check this out. This is really cool.
And someone goes, "Oh, look at my little kid," or look at this drawing my baby or my toddler just drew. "Oh, that's sick. Hey, check out this 249 I built."
Yeah, his name is Mr. Torg. Shoots at 44 rounds. Shoots at 44 rounds a second. What? Wait, what?
I love that you actually named it that too. That's fucking awesome, dude.
It with me and the way I name stuff, as soon as I got that Mark 46, I just was like, explosions, Mr. Torg.
Yeah, dude, that's so fucking cool. So referential. I dig it, man. I fucking dig it. There was a few other things. Obviously, there's like the obvious stuff that definitely hurt the growth of Airsoft. Obviously, any sort of like aggressive behavior on the field, not calling your hits. Those are obviously like the really, really big ones, right? That anyone I think can say that they've had experience with as well. I think though one of the things that also that's not obvious though, that one thing that people might actually kind of throw people for a loop about, like, hey, if you really want Airsoft to grow, go to events. This is going to sound really weird, but going to events is, whether they be, like maybe just small local events that maybe a field wants to put together, right? Or maybe events where maybe it's not, I'm not saying that you should go out in public lands, but maybe if there's like an unofficial sort of like community of airsofters right there, maybe somewhere out there, because, there's a lot of places, especially in the Midwest, where there is no field for kids to go to, right? There's no field for people to play, so it's just like, all right, woods ball it is, or maybe we're just going to play out in the fields or something, right? That's 100% a legitimate way of playing. So even if it's... go for it. I know you want to add to it.
Oh, I was gonna say with that, like being in places like out in the Midwest and like going out into the woods randomly, especially if you live close to a town and you're like on the edge of town, don't be afraid to call the police and let them know what you're doing.
Dude, I imagine cops are so chill in those areas.
I mean that, give or take on the day, but like, and this goes for anywhere. If you don't have a field close by, don't be afraid to call the police and just let them know, hey, we're going to be out playing with airsoft. These aren't real. If anybody calls and freaks out, this is what's going on. We're making sure that we're not harming anybody's property or anything like that. We're going to be here at this location from this time to this time. If you have any problems, please just come out and let us know. That right there will help you in your community make it okay. Just being cognizant of your surroundings, and or if you got, like, I've had times where I was doing stuff in my backyard and I went to my neighbors on both sides of my house because I live in town. I was like, hey, I'm going to be in my backyard with my airsoft stuff. They look real, but they're not. And both of them were just like, oh no, that's really cool. We might actually come out and check it out.
That's happened so many times. Boaz and Taylor used to be the part of the team that I'm on right now. Their origin story when they were kids playing in high school, and some kids in middle school joined them. Their origin story, they used to play at this little park, this little abandoned park that no one really gone to, that was pretty close to some train tracks. They would play there, and they did it kind of unofficially. You know, they didn't do the route, which, by the way, don't do this. They didn't ask the police first or law enforcement to go there first. They just kind of went there because nobody was there at any point. At a certain point, though, I guess someone saw that all these kids in, like, camouflage were, like, leaving to this park. So someone called, I think some Karen called the cops on them. But when the cops showed up, apparently, according to Boaz, they were, like, genuinely impressed. So much so that they actually started playing. Like, they hooked them up with a few, like, guns to use, and they started playing that very same day when they scoped it out.
Yeah. Like, and that's a way to cure the issue of, you know, not talking about airsoft and going out and, you know, having it's talking to your neighbors, like making sure you're in contact with your local police, like making it a good view in your local community, which then will help it. You know, we can adversely switch the things.
Yeah, like that 100% is like how we make it less of a taboo, because especially once you start building enough of a community there and people start knowing about it, then it's like, okay, cool, this is just like a random thing that like a lot of the kids in the area like to do, to now it's like, oh yeah, all the kids in the neighborhood like to go out to this field and like to play airsoft, right? So now this town has more or less kind of a local hangout spot for all their kids where they like to go and play, where a lot of parents sometimes might even join in the fun as well. That's something that's really, really cool, right? But going to events, even if they're at unofficial fields like this, obviously as long as you have permission and you're cognizant of your surroundings, very good choice of words, as long as you're doing all that, events take a lot of work. As someone who's been now like on the inside and has seen how hard it is, and everyone always asks, right? Again, the biggest question: when's the next BB Awards? When the next BB Awards? Trust me, guys. If we knew, we would tell you. It's hard, man. It's freaking difficult. It is hard organizing events, and shit just constantly goes wrong, you know, at the pre-planning, right, where it's like, okay, certain dates, turns out, okay, you know, they can't do this date, even though we agreed months ahead of time. Okay, so we got to reschedule it, and it's like, oh shit, but now the sponsor can't do that date. They can't send anyone out there because they're doing an event somewhere else. It becomes a very, very difficult thing to do, and I don't think anyone really understands how difficult it can be. So it even becomes even more frustrating. Thankfully, this has never happened to us, where we've had like no one show up at an event. Thank God. That has never happened yet. Yes, that would be depressing. But even more so because you got to realize then all that work that these people spent, all this time and energy and money too, because we do have to spend money, you know, to reserve, you know, the space a lot of times. All this time and effort and resources that went into planning this event to give something back to the community is now like met with just no one. It's ungratitude. It's like, okay, well, since we don't have any form of like positive feedback then from the community, that just tells us, okay, we're never going to spend on doing events like this. We're never going to spend on outreaching to the community like this ever again. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys do not want that.
No, nobody does. And I myself have started like piecing together my own event thing to hopefully set up and do one day. I can get a field to do it. It would be, but it's in the plan. It's a weekend long event. It's a 2-day thing. I just thinking about the logistics in advance, scares me.
Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to make it worse. I'm sorry.
No. It's not just that, but it's like for me, the closest field I can think of that would be big enough that would accommodate that size event or that length of an event is 3.5 hours away.
That is a drive. That is a drive.
Yeah, it's up in Minnesota. It's what is it? Quad Cities Airsoft. I haven't even reached out because I haven't gotten everything written out yet. But like that's the only field that I can think of that's close enough to me. It's large enough that might be able to facilitate that. And I'm like, man, I'd have to do like 3-4 trips before the event at least,
just to map it out and kind of plan what you can do there.
Yep. I mean, driving to Minnesota for me is nothing. I do it I've done it so many times, but it's with you guys. You've done it across country, like.
And it's so frustrating too, especially when there's a time difference. Thankfully, it hasn't been that bad in a while where we've done like literally the opposite end of the country, right? We haven't done that in I think a very long time. But even then, when there's a time difference too, it's like, or even but worst case scenario, I don't know what it is about certain airsoft field owners. I'm gonna call you guys out. I'm not throwing any too much shade, but I am gonna say it. Why is it that every owner, it's with exception of one at U.S. Airsoft Field, Frank, which fucking goat, he's the goat there at U.S. Airsoft World. With the exception of him, why is it that every freaking airsoft field owner is never there? They're constantly gone. They're always like out. Like every time I try to talk to like some owners of like some local fields here, they're like, oh yeah, he's not in today. Like, and I get it, right? Sometimes you don't want to be bombarded with spam. I get that, but it's like, hey, we're airsoft. Like a legitimate airsoft retailer, we want to work with you. This is beneficial for all parties to host an event here, a BB Wars event, meaning you can get potentially 300 plus, if not more, attending members at this event, just for that event alone. And now you have exposure to this field for players that have never been there and now want to make this your regular field. It's beneficial to everyone. Why are you not there answering your phone?
Yep.
It's a pain when you have to do that. But yes, being able to go to airsoft events is really fun. I've been able to make great friends with, hey, my man Chef, with Chef Panikage, Trinity, Brewer, Real Wild. Like I've met friends with some ACM. I haven't seen ACM in a while. Freaking Stitch. I miss Stitch as well. Like I've met so many people from these events. Casper too. I've met all these people and played with them, and I wouldn't have had that opportunity had it not been for airsofting events. And I've made long-lasting friendships. I consider all these guys my friends, man. Like 100%. Like I consider them all these my friends. And honestly, I'm looking forward to the day where you and I can actually go out to an airsoft event. I know Shadowlands. I want to go. I don't know if it's possible, but I do want to go. But I am looking forward to the day where you and I can actually both play an event together.
Dude, I've already mapped out like 2 or 3 times like the drive to California from here. Because if I'm going out there, obviously I got to go see family too. Of course. It's additional, which that's like 8 hours from you guys.
Yeah, no, it's a quite a long drive.
Yeah, but for me to get to California, it's like 26 hours if I drive. So, Jesus. I mean, I'm trying to map it out for maybe doing it next year, and it's going to be a whole vlog series and everything. I've said this before. I try to map out like one really big trip a year at least. Shadowlands is I've done technically a smaller trip, but Shadowlands is my really big trip, and I can't wait because the amount of people that, from what I understand, are going, and they're in the chat. Like from what I hear, Chef is probably gonna be showing up.
Hopefully, Chef, confirm.
Chef and Trinity. Ghost is gonna be there. Cutter, obviously Team Shadow Airsoft. Jason, Crazy Jason. Casper is showing up.
That one is. I haven't played with Casper in a hot minute, dude. I haven't played with Casper in a very, very hot minute. I've been needing to do that. I've been wanting to do that again. I need to play more often.
But I mean, that's just for I don't know. I know some of those are confirmed, some are not. But yeah, I'm excited to finally meet everybody in person.
I see a question there. Oliver, does Airsoft Chair ship to Canada? Yes, we do indeed ship to Canada. We ship internationally for anyone that doesn't know. Just make sure you understand and read and know all the laws and regulations regarding airsoft in your local area, because we can ship it out, but whatever happens after in customs is not up to us. That is on you for knowing and understanding and obliging by all local laws and ordinance regarding international shipments and paying any additional duties and fees. Mystery boxes, though, are not Canada eligible. If you want a Canada eligible something or something made to be Canada shippable, please DM us on the live chat section on the website or through our Discord server, and we might be able to work something out for you. We've done it before. We could probably work something out for you as well. And remember, guys, we now have only 1 hour left of the live stream. Make sure to leave a like on this live stream. I know that we were at higher viewer count earlier, so I know we can bump up those likes. And make sure to take advantage of the promotions going on. Every 50 gets you 5, and once you reach 350 or higher in your subtotal, you automatically get 50 entries into the shopping freeway, so don't miss out. Garland Freeman, is your internet good today? Yes, you, Mr. I know you're just a little shitter there. Yes, my internet is, for your information, I have peak excellent connection right now. I have excellent connection, all right? Just don't jinx it, though. Don't jinx it. Do not jinx it now. You keep asking about it. It's going to break now. Okay.
Oh, chef's at 95% sure. Mom agreed to come out.
95% sure now.
Yeah.
Mom agreed to come out. Hey, that's what's up, baby. Hey, you got a good crowd going out there as well. I mean, I would love to be able to go out there. Maybe I can pull something out of my ass. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Chef, why are you referencing Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise? What did I miss? what did I miss? What the fuck, Casper? Why are you trying to flirt with me on stream? What the fuck is this?
When does he not?
What are you trying to do to me? Why are you trying to rizz me up, bro? I'm taken. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, but I'm taken.
Nah, she's got to understand. You got to. She's got to share.
Fuck, dude, no.
You share with all of us.
Hell no. I don't want to be shared. I'm good. I don't want to be shared. I'm good. Victor, can the Lance Tactical IPSC triple mag pouch fit high kappa mags? I'm going to assume so, but let's take a look at this. Why don't we? And by the way, Squirrely, is it pretty late where you're at right now? I feel like I don't want to take up too much of your time.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. We can go. I'm up late anyway. It's all good.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't taking up too much of your time. Let's see. LT IPSC. Okay, let me see. LT IPSC. Let's see here. IPSC triple mag pouch. I can't spell. Mag pouch. There we go. I'm almost as bad at spelling as I am at Battleship.
Oh man.
Did you ever end up watching that stream, by the way, after?
I did start it, but I ended up passing out on the couch.
Dude, you missed. I'm not even gonna lie. You actually missed probably the greatest freakout I've ever had on stream. I'm not even joking.
Oh, now I definitely need to go back and finish it.
Yeah. So I think it was Chad, was it round 2 when that happened? I think it was round 2. Round 2 happens, or is it round 2? It might have been round 3. Either way, it happened, right? And I'm playing against archery, right? We're starting off, and oddly enough, because I had been losing badly, right? I had just been fucking tanking, literally like sinking, right? All my ships constantly getting destroyed one by one. It didn't matter, like I was just losing. This was the one round that I started off with. Yeah, Victor, I'm gonna say yes. I can't find it, but I'm pretty sure I know the one you're talking about. But anyway, yeah. So oddly enough, I was winning. Like, as I was like, this was the first ever. I was winning, and I was like, oh shit, I'm winning. I'm in the lead. And literally Darktree's freaking out. I'm pretty sure he was stream sniping, by the way. Darktree, I'm pretty sure I'm on to you. That was really sus. That as soon as you stop, like as soon as I started like getting some kills, you were like, oh shit, I gotta take this seriously. And then all of a sudden, every single thing was a hit. I was like, all right, and little sussy baka right there. But yeah, I'm winning, and then he's freaking out. I have him on the ropes. I have him right where I want him. And then all of a sudden, I like get a little too excited, and I bump my my ring light that I have, because my ring light's I have a little ghetto rigged right now. It's I lost the stand for it. The stand broke. Yeah, stand broke for it. So I just kind of have it leaning against the computer. So I kind of flicked it with my hand, and it literally just fell and knocked over, and it hit my keyboard, and I think it hit the back or like the escape button, and I was booted out of the game because it's a free, like it's a one of those like free to play Battleship ones, and I was on a server, a public server, and it booted me out of the server, and I was back at the title screen, and I'm just like, wait, it put me back, and I just start like freaking the fuck out. I like scream, I stand up, and I'm like fucking throwing a little tantrum because I was like, fuck this, dude. Like I was winning, and even Darchi was like, you know what, God just has some favorite children sometimes. There's nothing you can do about it. Dude, I was so heated. I was actually so mad. Like, I was crying. And everyone's just like, it just wasn't meant to be. You were just meant to lose.
Well, yeah, when we did that test run, I actually started. Battleship is one of those games where I kind of start getting competitive.
Same. Like I start off like, oh, it's just this nice innocent little like game of Battleship. By like midway through, I'm like, dude, fuck. I'm like a literal Navy commander trying to like command my troops, and I'm like actually mourning the death of my sailors. Like it's pretty bad. Like I get so pissed off too, like that I start losing. I lost 3 rounds in a row, back to back, losing, and it was always by one. Somehow Darktree, by the way, the Oscar nominees do not compare to Darktree, because my God, he was acting so cool in terms of like, oh, I don't know where you're at, where are you? And then all of a sudden, in the nick of time, he would just immediately know exactly where I was and kill me. I don't know, man. I don't know. That was a little sus. I'm gonna call you out for that, Darktree.
I mean, honestly, I think the only time that I've seen Darktree emote the most is when he did that box swap with Team Shadow.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
He's a pretty stoic guy in all of his videos, but that one got him.
He's even saying in the chat right now, but I promise you guys, I wasn't cheating. Oh, now you're coming in to try to defend yourself, huh? I see how it is. I see how it is. Yeah, hitting around. Yes, that's exactly what he would do. He was playing with his food. He was like a shark. He was just shooting around my ships. And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, thank God. How did he miss? And then whenever he needs, oh, shit, time to get serious. He literally would say, oh, shit, I can't let this happen. It's time to get serious. Then all of a sudden, everything afterwards, hit, sink, hit, sink. Like, what the fuck, dude? You absolute freaking cheater, dude. I can't be thinking about that Battleship right now. I can't be thinking about Battleship. I get angry. Casper, does the CA Stoner have a SAW gearbox? Yes, 100%. It uses the same gearbox design as a 249 last I checked. The parts are interchangeable, and the reason why I know this is because if you ever need to swap out the barrel setup from your Stoner, if you have a buddy that has a 249, you can just easily swap out the barrel assembly onto the Stoner, and it will 100% work. And I know because we've tried this. Have I ever told you the story of the failing LMGs?
Yeah, were you and Boaz like Frankenstein?
Yeah, like we had Frankenstein 1 working LMG. Dude, it was bad. Like we're literally in this is the 20 what is that called, the 13 hours scenario, right? That happened to us at a Wilson West event, and like everyone's LMG was going down. Like RPK was down. We had another Stoner that actually went down as well. Like everyone's guns was just absolutely fucking failing, right? And there's nothing we could have done about it. Everyone's gun was going down the shitter, and it was like, fuck, okay, my barrel assembly's not working, but electrically my gun is sound. Boaz's gun electrically is fried, but his barrel assembly is really good. What if we just swap everything around? So we just or no, other way around. My barrel assembly was good, but electrically my gun was dead. His gun electrically was alive, but his barrel assembly was shit. So we just did a swap-a-roo, and then immediately we had like one functioning LMG for the remainder of that gunfight. So if you ever need to do a swap, you have options. You can 100% use 249 internals, and you are set, my guy. You are 100% Casper. Oh my God, he's.
Yeah, and
what happened?
I saw a question pop up from Jaw.
Where Jaw?
What was it? He scrolled up the chat super fast. I think he asked what's the weight difference between a full metal and a polymer.
If I remember, okay, I'm trying to remember what my 249 was like before I added all that shit on there. I think it was like 17, 18 pounds.
Well, my Mark 46 when I got it was, what was it? It's 12 pounds for the polymer. with the
Yes.
Mark 46 model, and you can actually, if you switch out the stock on it, you can drop like 1.5 pounds off of it.
Okay.
Because that buffer tube stock that comes on the Mark 46,
Yeah, that's heavy.
yeah, that buffer tube is just solid metal.
It's just solid metal at that point.
When I built out Mr. Torg, I bought the 249 full stock with the rear wire kit for it.
Making it
So
very
battery space?
convenient to put a battery in there.
Yep, battery space for days. And on my old 249, literally it's just a hinge point that's easier for breakdown. And since I wish A&K would advertise that they have quick change spring systems in these.
I know, right? Nobody knows about that.
Like, so if you got a standard 249 gearbox that's in like a Classic Army, an A&K, Cyber Gun, anything like that, this is a standard 249 gearbox, guys, you have a quick chain spring system.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Actually, I think the Cyber Gun one, the featherweight, that one actually is using a version 2 gearbox.
Oh, yeah.
That one's using a version 2
That's
gearbox.
the only different one.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's just very underwhelming for that one. I've had experience with the featherweight. You have to spend so much money just to build that out. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Cosmic was actually asking, any tips for someone trying to open a store/field? Yes, Cosmic, 100%. Cheap overhead is going to be your best friend. Cheap overhead. That's
Yep.
the best thing that I can recommend. So find a location that, if you have to spend a little bit more on the location itself, fine, but maybe something that's not going to require a ton of upkeep, you know what I mean? Like something that's fairly small. Start off small, I would say. Start off small first. That's probably the best thing that I can do. And then don't be afraid to invest a lot into marketing, because I promise you, what you put into marketing, for the most part, you will get out. Obviously, it's very hard with social media in general, but you got to do what you got to do and keep fighting the upward fight in order to advertise yourself, and maybe work with a lot of local players that you know and can trust, and maybe work up a written contract to help you promote your word out there. Because the amount of times we even get it, I'm sure you can imagine how many times we get people asking for like sponsorships and stuff, and we used to do it where we used to be able to like work with them a lot more, but they just... we used to be very trusting. We used to be very trusting. We used to believe their word used to mean something, and a lot of players would be like, "All right, I'm gonna take all this free stuff you sent me, and I'm not gonna do a single thing with it, or I'm just gonna completely ghost you entirely," which is kind of bullshit. So, written contracts are your friend.
Yeah, and that's why every time I give the Airsoft GI shout out, I make sure to tell everybody that I am not sponsored. I am doing it of my own free will.
Yes, which honestly, greatly appreciate. You do not have to do that, man. You do not have to do that. And honestly, the fact that you do it is very fucking cool.
I mean, you guys are the place where I've done most of my mystery boxes through, where I primarily shop through, and you're kind of tied to my 1,000 sub goal. So
honestly, I'm looking forward to when you actually... I am fairly confident that you're going to reach that sooner than you probably realize.
The thing is I'm starting to hedge the bets on how long it'll take to actually raise the money. Once that kicks off,
if you had to put money on it, how long do you think?
I would love, my ideal timeline that I've thought of is, I would love for it to take like 3.5, 4 months tops.
Okay, that's a good time frame.
Because not only is that a good time frame for everything to be built up, but it also gives me time to get the location here set up. Because it's all like, I'm waiting to do all this until it actually starts going through, because I have to. I can't preset this up and guarantee it's going to happen. So like once the fundraiser starts, yeah, cool. Once we get like halfway there, all right, cool. So I'm going to start the event, where I'm going to do the unboxing, where I'm going to have you guys pull up the truck for us to do everything, like have the event and do the giveaway and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then roll from there and advertise the living shit out of it.
Absolutely. Honestly, I'm looking forward to that when you can do it. I'm more happy that the fact that you actually just reached the 1K. Anytime a member of like the Airsoft like community, especially when we've like known them for a little while, right? It's like, especially members of like that are the guys that are stream, like watching all of our stream, regular viewers. Like when you get members of the community that are like making content, especially when they can reach certain milestones, I'm like, yes, we're all growing. We're growing together. We are all coming up. When one of us wins, we all win. That's the way it should be. 100%. I love celebrating milestones for like other content creators, especially when like this is the thing, right? Where it's like I've seen a lot of content creators from like I started subbing to them when they were like under 1K, right? And like now they're like at fucking one of the biggest channels like out there in that specific niche. Like I've been there, and it's always like, oh yes, like I'm so glad now that the person that I really really do enjoy watching, or the content that I love seeing, is actually starting to grow more and get more eyes on it, and then it's going to continue going, and the community itself is going to go bigger. When community members win, we all win. That's the whole point, guys. If you guys didn't catch the vibe of the streams that we do, when one of us wins, we all win. Everyone's happy. All right, that's the way I want it to be.
And you know, actually Shadow is one that keeps pushing it because I keep working on it and I'm being a perfectionist about it. But I know a lot of people in the Airsoft GI section have been wanting Cisco to do roast my builds again, or have you start doing it, or Boaz, or everything.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I've asked Boaz about this, and you know what? I'll say this: if we can see enough people, I'm gonna say this right here, right now, so everyone is aware. So it's not like I'm trying to keep it a secret. If you guys really want to see roast my build come back, put in the Discord. Like, and I mean like not just one post and then it gets like maybe 10 people liking it. I'm talking like, I need to see this shit like spam the fuck out of everyone, right? Like everyone's in the chat being like, bring back roast my build. Like everyone needs to go ahead and like absolutely completely bombard the chat. And honestly, I would do it. I don't know if I'll be honest, and I don't know if I would be as I like to think of myself as, you know, very different style than Cisco, right? Like Cisco and I have very different vibes. We agree on a lot of stuff, and it's got to the point where at some points at work, we would even joke around with each other. We'd make the same exact decisions. We didn't talk or communicate with each other, but somehow we always reached the same conclusion. We always shared the joke. You know, we share the same brain cell, right? Mom said it's my turn to use the brain cell today, right? That's what we used to joke. Yeah, right? We'd always do the same shit, and we're like, fuck, you stole my idea. It's like, I swear I didn't know you were going to do that. But
yeah, and I'm kind of starting my own take on it.
yeah. Like, I if you guys really want to.
But yeah, I would like to see you guys do it again.
We can probably do it. I think it would be structured a little bit differently, because obviously, you know, that was definitely like Cisco and Boaz's baby. I want to be able to do something a little bit slightly different, but still within the same spirit. For me, I think I don't know if I would want to do roast my build. I think I would want to do roast my loadout. I kind of like what Admin Results does on his secondary channel, where he sees like fan submissions of like people's like whole loadout, not just like the gun, maybe like just the kit itself, or maybe roast my kit or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that is also something. Me personally, with the subject of what's destroying Airsoft, is when I got back into Airsoft, that was something that I saw a whole bunch of channels doing, but doing it in their own taken way of doing their own roast my builds. And everybody was having fun just taking little stabs at everybody, you know, like the Reddit, you know, roast me hashtag type stuff.
Those are always popular, right? Of course.
And then out of nowhere, it all stopped.
That's true. I don't really see too many people talking about them anymore.
Exactly, and like nobody does like a roast my build series or anything, and I can understand. Like I think I heard Cisco in a couple of videos say something along the lines of, it's hard to do roast my builds when people keep sending you clean, nice builds.
that is a problem. I think the biggest thing was that like it wasn't even just clean builds either. It was like we would just get the very same, like almost like carbon copy, the same like submissions over and over again. And not literally, they would just come from different people, but they looked, I shit you not, there'd be like days where we're like they're looking through submissions, and like 10 submissions or 11 submissions in a row would be, I shit you not, the exact same gun, maybe slightly different color, but it was all the same gun. So it kind of became kind of hard, because sometimes to do that. And I think maybe that might actually be the thing, right? If it's like, maybe Cisco can be like, hey, none of you impressed me, right? Like, you know, none of you guys seem to do anything different. I want to see something actually unique, actually different for once. And all I keep getting is the same thing. We like to spin it for our videos, right? We always like to say that it drove Cisco insane, right?
Yeah.
He absolutely just went insane because he kept looking at the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah, exactly, Casper. Same type of build.
Yep. Yeah. Or if they started, people actually, I've seen it a few times where they were copying cursed builds.
Yes, they would do the same like curse build, hoping to get like featured on there. And I get it, right? If you see inspiration, you can probably go for something similar, but don't do the exact same build over and over again. Yeah, right. That was kind of annoying. That was absolutely annoying. Or what is he had? Or sending stupid or impractical, like trying to be ridiculous rather than trying to be good, but not doing well enough and getting roasted for that. We kept doing that over and over again, and we just didn't want it to become stale. I think we ended it for the time being at a good point. We didn't officially cancel the series. For anyone that was wondering, that's never been a thing. We've never outright been like, okay, we're never doing this again. No, we've always left the door open just in case we ever wanted to pick it back up again. And I think maybe again, I'm telling you guys this now, if we see a fuck ton of people going into like our Discord, for example, or putting in our YouTube comments, and we get like a ton of upvotes on it, right, of being like, hey, we need to bring back, or you guys need to bring back Roast My Build, or do a Roast My Build style series, we could probably do that. I see what Darwin's is saying, but Isaiah's problem is that you are too nice. Yes, I that is a problem, but I feel like it would be good to do, and this is where I feel like I excel at, and this is, Cisco is very, very good, and he is a excellent entertainer as is, right? Whenever he does videos, you can tell he comes from an entertainment background. That's his thing. He is meant to be an entertainer. He's a singer, right? He does a little bit of acting, and it totally makes sense, right? I come from an entertainment background similar to him, but more so on an acting sense versus more like a comedian, or more so like a singer. Like, I've performed before, but I've never been like the funny guy. I've never been a comedian. I don't have the talent for that. I don't have the improvisational skills to do that like he does. But what I do feel like is I excel at is that I'm a very good foil. I'm a very good like opposing force for someone. I'm a very good opposite, maybe playing the straight man against maybe someone like Boaz, which honestly, my favorite videos that I ever host are always with Boaz. Like, I think
dude, you guys work really well together.
I just like how aggressively wrong Boaz is about stuff. Like, he might be completely wrong about something. Like, have the most like and I do mean this literally, the most based opinions out there in terms of airsoft, right? Or it might be the complete just so objectively like matter of fact, even if he's like dying on a hill nobody else wants to die on. But you know what? I respect the fact that he's willing to die on those hills for the sake of his own opinion, his pride, and for entertainment purposes. So I think that's where we kind of play along lines, because we both are very different people. He's not afraid to roast people. He's not afraid to make fun of you from the very first day that he meets you. Versus me, I'm definitely a lot more reserved. I do try to be nice and be like, you know what? I can kind of see, the reason why you would go with this, right? I do love, that you went this route. I think it's really cool, man. And then Boaz is like, oh, this is trash. just straight up, like, this is trash. So I've seen this build before 20 million times. Come back when you have something original. I think it'd be a good bad cop versus good cop type dynamic that we got going on.
Yeah, I agree. And what was it, when you guys were doing more of the shop videos and the debates over stuff you guys would have?
Oh, yes.
Best.
Dude,
best video.
Those are always some of my favorite ones to do whenever, because I just love seeing how, like Casper says, I do love how Boaz just goes ham on you sometimes. Same, dude. Same. Yeah. Dude. That was so funny. He gets so mad and frustrated, and you can tell, like, because I'll bring up whenever we used to do the podcast, I would bring up like a legitimate point or a legitimate argument, and even Cisco would be like, damn, that's a good point. He thought, I didn't even think about that. And Boaz is like, no, like, he actually gets mad, and you can see it in his face.
If I ever came into one of those debate things, it's so much sarcasm.
Yeah, oh my god, I can imagine. From someone like you, Army and Mechanic, dude, like, I couldn't handle. I wouldn't even know what was real at that point anymore. my monkey brain wouldn't be able to comprehend.
Or just the random spills of like info dumping things, and just like, wait, it goes that deep.
I didn't realize the rabbit hole or the iceberg was this fucking deep.
Yeah.
Fidel, submitting the Roast My Build is tough because all of the algorithms taking down posts, it'd have to be through Discord. Yeah, no, 100%.
Yep.
It would have to be through Discord.
That's where I got mine filtered through right now. It's all through my Discord because anywhere I like if they put it on Instagram or like through comments on YouTube, taken down. Like unless you make sure you put in the tags airsoft replica.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You know what sucks too? I'm not even gonna lie. We actually this is gonna sound really weird, and I'm not saying anything about it. If people want this certain tag, I'm gonna mention a tag, like a hashtag that people like to use, apparently in airsoft videos, and that's fine if you enjoy that type of content. Personally, I do not, but it's fine. But I do think it's kind of bullshit that whenever we launch, like say a short, for example, whenever I have to upload a daily short for the main YouTube channel, I'll usually use certain hashtags, right? Like airsoft, shorts, fun. If it's like a meme, I'll do like memes, funny, entertainment. You know, I'll do tags like that to help, of course, right? Kind of cast a wider net in terms of our audience. Anyone that uploads or does any sort of social media for a living, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's really tough when you got to try to do that, right? Especially with the YouTube algorithm working the way it does. You want to know what's bullshit though? Airsoft GI used to be a pretty okay like hashtag to use, right? It was growing in numbers. Airsoft GI kind of basically got taken down as a hashtag. You can still use it, it's fine, but it will never show Airsoft GI as a hashtag to really use for it, right? You know what does show up whenever I type in Airsoft G, like just the letter G? Airsoft girls.
Oh man! I can go on.
And here's the thing,
I can go on a tangent.
This is the thing. It's fine if you enjoy that. It's fine. I'm not gonna judge.
Yeah.
It's fine if you enjoy that content, and I'm not gonna judge anyone that's also anyone that does like work in that sort of like style. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, they are faces. They are models meant to sell a product and to push something. And you know what? They're doing great for themselves, and I wish them the best. Good job on you. They are using what they got to get attention and make a living. So, and honestly, I respect that. I would probably do the same thing. But it's kind of bullshit that you take down Airsoft GI, a well-established hashtag, and you replace it with Airsoft Girl. And all the other hashtags are gone apparently, but Airsoft Girl is okay. Like the fuck.
Yeah. And what I think is really funny is those Airsoft girls or models or
content creators. We'll say content creators. It's a very good term.
Content creators. But like on Instagram and stuff, like people know names. I'm not going to name drop. But the funny thing is, I never came across them. They started following my channel just because I was an airsoft channel.
I think people are just at this point just desperate to make a connection with anything airsoft related because airsoft again. Hashtag airsoft on IG is banned.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, cool. It's awesome that you do that, but wow, I don't need that popping up in my feed all the time. I appreciate it, but
it's like, oh, okay, and I'm gonna block, and I don't want this.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, cool. You look real good in that plate carrier. Moving on.
Like, okay, I'm just not gonna interact with this. I'm good. No, not. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm just trying to check if anybody's liked posts and what I gotta update. And
Dude, that's like happened. I think like a few times on like, especially on like the main like Airsoft GI like account, right? Where I'm like, okay, I want to see like what some of the other like channels like I'll check out maybe like from certain brands, right? I'll see like Zion Arms, Lancer Tactical, Elite Force, G&G, KWA, like because they also post stuff some of them more regularly than others, and so I like to check out their stuff too. And then sometimes I'll get like some of the other stuff on there and I'm like, oh, okay, and I have to scroll real fast past it because I'm like, I didn't expect to see that at like 9:30 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, okay, no, I don't want it. Just get out of there real quick.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, like Joe just put in, you see more videos about real steel than you do airsoft, and I can actually
agree to that. Yes.
Agree with that.
Which is so stupid. It's so frustrating that again, it's like we try so hard to make sure and put a distinction, right? Of course, between airsoft and real steel, and like Bossman always says, right, where it's like we just can't fucking win no matter what we do. It's like. Anytime that any sort of like incident, of course, right, happens, any sort of national emergency, right, where it's like, oh, this is a fucking tragedy that happens, right? Like I'm sure you click on the news, I'm sure you'll figure out what I'm talking about, chat. Anytime something like that happens, it's like, they definitely know. Anytime something like that happens, it's like you will always see a tank in airsoft, like pretty bad, like it'll in terms of sales, any sort of like interaction via social media wise, you will always see a tank. Consistently, but guns will always come back and they'll always bounce back from that, right? Toys, like very visibly, like toys, like Nerf guns, gel blasters. Typically, they'll still do okay, but airsoft, for whatever reason, will always be cursed with this. We never and the worst part is, like I've said it before, none of the 2A guys like love to go, or like they love shitting on airsoft for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. It's I feel like there's just I'm gonna say it. I think there's a bit of an inferiority complex a lot with it goes on with a lot of the 2A guys. Maybe they're compensating for something. I don't know, but it just makes no sense why you have this much hatred for a hobby that does not hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. And like for me, with as much airsoft content as I watch, you would think the algorithm would keep throwing me stuff. No, it switches me over to real.
Like, I get it. It's a natural progression, right? Like odds are, if you like airsoft stuff, you're gonna like real steel. I mean, most of the time, anyway. I know there's a few guys that actually don't like real steel stuff. They only like airsoft, which is fine. Like it's fine if they recommend a few of those. But as much airsoft specific content as we watch, we get recommended more real steel stuff than actual airsoft content. I know exactly what you're talking about. That shows up on my personal YouTube feed all the time. And the one that pisses me off the most though is it's more so to do with YouTube's like their algorithm and their features that they have now, where it's like I search up one specific video I search up, and I even make sure to use the proper search terms to go ahead and find this video, and I get like maybe one or two that are related to it, and then I get viewers also watched. I'm like, I don't care what they watched. I don't care what they watched. I know what I want to watch, and I don't want to watch this. Show me my damn search results.
Yeah, no, I don't. The algorithm isn't doing what it should be doing.
It's just so bad, dude. We actually, this last video that went live, we thought, okay, maybe it's the ads, right? We had heard maybe, especially with the latest update from YouTube, right? With a lot of other airsoft content creators were saying, like US Airsoft was saying, if you put like ads or anything in your video, that's like, talking about airsoft or prices or mentioning logos, for certain like airsoft brands or like retailers, or put like a thing like, oh yeah, link in the bio. If you put anything like that, the video would most likely be taken down, right? Or it would not be okay for monetization, right? Which is very important if you want your videos to get bigger. And we put, as a test, before we made them live, we scheduled out two of the exact same ones, identical. One of them had a mid-roll ad where we were advertising, I think we were advertising free shipping on that video. I don't remember. And then one without it, right? And then we put them both up as scheduled at the exact same time and wanted to see, okay, which one will YouTube, actually approve? Because there's supposed to be someone that looks through it and actually determines what that's called like manual review, right? That's we always request for a manual review on our videos. And it says manual, meaning someone, an individual, a person has to go through it. The video that cleared, that was okay for monetization, was the one with the ad in it. The one that wasn't approved for monetization was the one that didn't have an ad in the mid-roll. So now we know for 100% it's fucking bullshit. It's not. There's no there's no person that's looking at it. It's all AI. 100% AI.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm so frustrated at that, dude. Yeah, and you're right, Akron. It sucks. Put all that effort to have your content get taken down. The fucking the Helldivers video. You saw that one, right?
Oh yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
The amount of work we put into that video and it didn't fucking take off. We struggled just to get like at 2K views, dude. That one. Oh, that one. Have you ever had that where you actually put that much effort into like a video or maybe a live stream, all for it to just go for naught?
Every single game stream.
I enjoy your game streams.
Oh no, I love doing them. It's just there's like they don't get as much traction as I think they would. It just. Everybody loves game streams. Like, what?
Yeah, like you would think, right? Like,
I mean, I'm not the most entertaining person in the world, but I'm still trying to have fun with it.
Or you know what the weird thing is? It's like, out of all the subscribers you have, right? Like, out of everyone that's like subs, right? You look back at that number, and then you compare it to like your views on like your stream, and you're like, what the fuck? Where's everyone?
Or when I compare like the number of subscribers to like like counts or comments, interactions. It's like there's so many people.
I know so many people who are subscribed, and yet nobody's here. Nobody's watching.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? And I get it, right? There's a lot of people internationally, right? And that makes sense, right? There might be someone that's complete opposite end of the country from you. That makes sense, right? And you got so you got to understand. All right, what is like? Who are my viewers? Like, where are the majority of my viewers? Where are they watching from? What side of the country? And you got to do all this research, and that's fine. That's fine, right? I want to, again, remind everyone, not that I don't appreciate the viewer counts. Of course I do. All 37 of you that are congruent viewers that I have right now, I absolutely fucking appreciate every single one of you, and especially those that are commenting into the live chat, right? But the problem is, when we go live, it's, compared to the sub count, 900K, it's like, what the freak?
Yeah. Yep. That's what, and I don't think there's a single content creator out there that struggles with that. Regardless of the number of subscribers you have, you look at that subscriber count, you look at the other numbers, and you're just like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't get. And then you think like, okay, YouTube cannot be like failing this bad where it's not sending out like notifications, and it's like, and I get it, right? It turns out the majority of people that watch YouTube right now, they actually prefer using YouTube as sort of background noise, playing a video as they're like doing, whether it be maybe on their commute to work or their commute back, or maybe they're cleaning the house or they're cooking, or just having it on in the background, like as they're like maybe eating dinner or something. I'm not gonna lie, that's something that I do as well. I love a lot of like, maybe not even fully podcast. I'll listen to some podcasts, but I won't listen to like, like really short form content videos unless I'm just like, okay, I'm only on here for like a few minutes and I just want to check it out for a little while, right? I'm usually listening to longer form content, maybe guys talking, and like especially on my way to work or on the way back. I just love hearing people have a conversation of something, or a discussion, or maybe an analysis of like something, whether it be maybe an album, or maybe some sort of like a moment in history, reminiscing about that. I think those are really, really cool, and I do like listening to those. But even then, if I like the content, why wouldn't I just leave a thumbs up or just like hit the subscribe button? If I like content like this, why not just do? I don't know. I think people on like that watch. I don't know if it's like commitment issues or something. I don't know what it is. They're afraid of the sub box for some reason.
Yeah, it's the sub box and the like box. I think it's the like box.
And on Brewer, you're right. Your strength is I don't care how many people see it. I just make it for me and my Airsoft homies. Someone else likes it, awesome. No, that's the thing. 100%. I would love to be able to go and do that. And I think in general, I have to have that mindset when it comes to like a lot of the streams and stuff we do. At the end of the day, as long as we know that we tried our best, that's what matters the most. And we genuinely have made a very entertaining, at least we think, very entertaining video, or whatever content it is. It's just like, because we're a retailer, obviously because we're a business, we have to keep going and keep getting more views and get more engagements, because that's literally our business. It's like, it gets like, oh man, it gets sometimes discouraging when it's like, fuck, we worked this hard on a video and it didn't freaking last. Pronoxuin, I mentioned, if you have a 1-year warranty, yes, then the 1-year warranty will still be honored. You mentioned this on Discord, and we should be able to help you out. If not, you can also go ahead and use the live chat function on the website right there, right hand corner. Message us, and we should be able to go ahead and give you a status update as to what might be going on or something, because yeah, we can totally help you out, man. Let's see here. Yeah, this says, and the wear is being smushed, 5-minute drop. Well, I'm glad I got fixed, but again, you are still covered under a 1-year warranty, man. At the end of the day, you are still covered under a 1-year warranty if anything does happen. So just letting you know, again, even if that is the case, we'd always still be willing to help you out, man. If something got lost in the messages, then we do apologize, but again, we're always still willing to help you out at the end of the day. Yeah, it's an exploit of one of the aspects of the current YouTube algorithms. YouTube doesn't like Airsoft. We should move to a new platform. Actually, have you been seeing that? Like, there's like a few content creators that they'll still be on YouTube, but they're actually moving to like, I think like a whole new streaming service. Have you seen this?
I've heard murmurs of stuff. I know people tried moving to Patreon sometime last year, but then Patreon started hating on Airsoft too. I don't know where they're going. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm gonna fight the good fight and stick my course.
Absolutely. No, we still gotta do like YouTube as well, because there's no way you can't not be on YouTube, right? There's no way you can't not be on YouTube. But I have seen like a lot of like gun channels specifically in order to be able to show off more content or more of the stuff that people really like to see. We're talking like actual shooting videos and stuff, because those are always really hard to fight. I didn't know this, and this is a trick that that I have like insider. We have a little insider trip. Yeah, DJ, what do you mean? I have seen your messages, Garland. If I didn't see your message, how was I able to respond to the message when I said it in live in the stream? How was I even able to check when you asked me if you had gotten another Lance Tactical Nightwing? How was I able to go ahead and do that? Anyway, but yeah, no, like, freaking. Wait, what the fuck was I saying? I had a brain fart. What the fuck what was the last thing I said?
Oh, I even lost it. Holy shit,
brother! What did I even say? Oh yes, okay. We're talking about new platforms and stuff like that. Yes. Talking about new platforms. We still have to go ahead and go on to YouTube, but with certain channels that I know. We have seen for a lot of gun tubers, because apparently they have very similar problems to that we have. One of the things that they usually do is that they will upload, I shit you not, 10 like clones of the exact same video. Like exact same video, same everything, no changes. They'll put 10 versions, 10 different variations sent out and scheduled out for their next upload. Which is insane. And they just have to hope one of them gets approved by YouTube. One of them gets approved by YouTube and is cleared for monetization. That is 100%. Like the like most annoying part about it is that you have to literally do that. You have to go through those lengths. Like we had to do that. We tried it out for ourselves. We did 2 of the exact same type of video, hoping one of them would end up getting monetized. Just for one of them to like, thank God it did. But can you imagine if it didn't? Which apparently has happened before.
Yeah. It has. I just the lengths, and I think that's why it's like I think my channel probably I don't like doing shorts. Honestly, like I like long form content.
Same.
That's my preference. But I think if it wasn't for the push of shorts and that whole system of like you need to like put up so many different channels and see which one sticks on the same video, that's why I haven't hit goals sooner, because it comes in spikes. Like it's like they open the floodgates just enough. Like you guys like had the spike to 900K. Now it's gonna shut down for a little bit. Like I get spikes in subscribers and then it's gonna shut down again.
Yeah, like it's just like we'll go and have moments and we're like, oh shit, we're on a good rise, right? And we've even seen it. We've taken a look at our analytics too, because again we gotta look at all this shit, right? We look at our analytics and it's like, oh shit, we're on the rise again, sweet, right? And then it just drops all of a sudden. Apparently we had an earthquake, Brewer. Yeah, Brewer. I didn't feel anything. I haven't. There's nothing rocking inside the house, so honestly, I don't think we got anything. To be honest, I genuinely don't think that we got anything. Did you feel that, or am I crazy?
I felt nothing.
Yeah, the same. I know you're all the way out there, but like I didn't feel anything, man. I think if anyone would have felt it, would have been us, considering we're closer to the fault line. But like, nah, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't feel shit. Although I'd rather it be like that. I'd rather it be to the point where it's like. We have, God damn it, Rack, right? He said, I farted, sorry. What the fuck?
It makes sense.
Jesus. Dude, you got some force behind those cheeks, brother. I would rather it be the case where it's like, we have a bunch of small little earthquakes, right? A bunch of small little earthquakes, as opposed to like one massive cataclysmic, fucking like world-ending, world-shaking earthquake, and then a tsunami after. Because everyone forgets, we are still very close to an ocean. Tsunamis are no joke.
Yeah, no. When I lived in Hawaii, that was like the one thing I never wanted to experience was a tsunami.
Were you in Hawaii for the army, or just you just were there for some reason?
I was out of the army. My ex-wife was stationed there. So yeah, I mean, I went through a tropical storm when I was out there, but a tsunami, no thanks. I'm glad I never.
Even tropical storms sound like no joke.
Oh no, that was insane. Like I've been through my fair share of natural weather-related events, like hail the size of softballs with a tornado less than a mile away from my house. I've been through a couple of hurricanes, floods. Actually, if anybody knows and is old enough, yeah, I was around during the times of the floods of '94.
Oh, dude, that sounds terrifying.
But earthquakes, never dealt with that. Never dealt with a tsunami. No volcanoes, even though I lived on an island made by one.
No, like I've experienced earthquakes before, and I've had some like pretty sizable ones before that I've experienced, and because I was pretty close to the fault line at the time, so like yeah, it was pretty bad. But I think that was the only real major like natural disasters that I've ever experienced. Whenever I hear the Midwest, and I do have to give as much as like of course right, you hear all the Midwest memes, right? It's basically like Midwest is basically just a like a Gmod server, like you know what I mean? Like it's just or it's an unfinished like fucking game, right? At the end of the day, I respect Midwesterns for one reason. Y'all have to deal with tornadoes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is the most terrifying. I saw this one tornado, not that I physically saw it, but like I've seen footage of like tornadoes out there and like different storms. The one tornado that like terrifies me, apparently was this case where a man was standing fairly close to one, and the gale winds were or not gale winds, but the force was so strong that it actually skinned a man alive. It literally ripped the man's skin right off of his whole body, clothes and everything, just completely skinned him just by standing close to a tornado. That is insane. That is terrifying. Or I've seen some where it's like in a far distance you'll see a tornado, like the funnel forms, and you're like, what are those two white dots there? It's like, oh yeah, those are the headlights of a semi-truck.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm never moving to the Midwest. Thank you very much. I don't want to deal with any of that.
I think in my lifetime, since I've lived in Iowa, I think I've physically seen 10, 12 tornadoes.
Fuck!
Like, in various sizes and shapes, like some off in the distance. But, yeah, like, I've seen tornadoes touch down, and, like, literally I've seen them, like, come down, tap the earth, and leave. Like,
Jesus, dude, it's just so scary when you see it. Drexen, yes, new fear unlocked, thanks, and he's crying. Dude, like, seriously.
There was a tornado, and this is actually astounding even for us. It hit through like the capital's Des Moines, right? That's one of our large cities here.
Yeah.
And this tornado went from one end of the city to the other, and it traveled like 9.5 miles.
Whoa.
If it was any bigger than what it was, it would have destroyed that city.
Dude, 9 miles is a lot, isn't it, for tornadoes?
Yeah, that's a long run. And if that tornado would have been any bigger than what it was, yeah, most of that city would have been gone.
So it did actually end up in Des Moines as well?
Oh, yeah, it went straight. It was, what was it? I don't know if any of you guys know, but the easiest way to remember, it went from the southeast corner of Urbandale to the northwest corner of West Des Moines, which is like 9.5 mile stretch, and it went straight through the center of Des Moines.
What the fuck? That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, what Plasma Dragon Air. So Isaias, have you heard of the Dead Man Walking tornado? I've heard of that before, where it's like a tornado or like a funnel cloud that's, if you look at it, it's supposed to like shape of like a guy walking or something, right? I don't know about that one. That one is kind of creepy, but honestly, it's just the fact that it's like that you could have your skin ripped off of your entire face and your body just by standing near one. That alone is absolutely terrifying, right? I know we've seen movies like Twister, like not the new one, the OG movies like Twister, right? And you see like it's kind of funny when you see like the cows being picked up, but you really think about that for a second. For anyone that doesn't know, cows are fucking massive. They are big animals. They're not as cute as you see on TV. No. TV doesn't do it justice. Cows are massive, heavy bovine creatures, man. These things are massive. So the fact that tornado can just whip it around, you know what I mean, like it's nobody's business, that should be very alarming to everyone.
Yeah, the severe tornadoes you see, like we'll get a couple of those a year. Like you'll hear of like Iowa getting hit with like 2 or 3 like big tornadoes, but for the most part they're pretty small. you just kind of get used to it.
Honestly, I don't know how y'all deal with that. Tornadoes just feel like God's middle finger to humanity. You know what I mean? Tsunamis are bad. Don't get me wrong. Tsunamis, hurricanes, those are really bad. And honestly, anyone that's had to go through a tsunami, must be absolutely terrifying to see the full force of the entire ocean making its way to your shores and then coming across and sucking everything up and putting it back into the ocean. That must be like terrifying. That must be another fear to be unlocked. Darktree actually admitted to on stream during that same live stream I was talking about. He actually admitted his biggest fear is the ocean.
Yeah, and actually, somebody mentioned a tornado in New York because Gnarls mentioned that he saw one when he lived in New York. Funny story. I'm from Syracuse, New York, and when my grandparent, a few years back, a tornado actually ripped through my grandparents' backyard in Syracuse, New York.
What the fuck? Dude, that's I would never have imagined New York of all places would experience hurricane or tornadoes at all.
Dude, in all the years that I lived in New York and been there off and on, that it was never something that crossed my mind. When I heard about that, like it was on the news, I was like, "What?" And my grandma said, "Yeah, it was like the size of her finger. Like that's how thick it was.
Jeez.
It's just this tiny little tornado that just made a little trench in the yard and like messed up a couple of fences, but
that was about it.
Hit New York."
Jesus Christ. Yeah, the only thing about New York that I'd honestly be worried about are maybe like gators in the sewers or maybe like some Ninja Turtles. The Foot Clan, I don't know. That's maybe about it. Maybe, of course, Spider-Man going through fighting whatever villain of the week that he's got to go through. Why is it always New York? You ever notice that? Why is it always New York? Fantastic Four, freaking X-Men. I'm pretty sure that's set in New York.
Yeah. No, actually, X-Men technically is north of the city on the outskirts.
Like
they're in Winchester.
But, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's always New York, man. It's always New York. So it's always shit happening in New York. I know Florida is known for its bullshittery that happens. I get it, right? I do understand that. There's a lot of everything in Florida wants to eat you or just kill you. But something about New York, man, there's just something wrong with that place, dude.
Well, and you're making mention of like the city. Syracuse is upstate for me, so I'm a different type of New Yorker. As I would always say, because upstate is way different than the city.
Is it nicer like in terms of quality of life there? I've never been like to New York or been able to compare it. I've seen photos, but that's about it.
Now, I mean, most of my time in New York has been back and forth over the years of like parental visits and stuff. But I did live there for a while. The Syracuse upstate area, it's a little bit slower. It's still a city. It's a New York City. Everybody's still assholes. Like that doesn't change.
I love that you said that and not me.
Oh no, I was born there. It's born and bred. It's in my blood. It is what it is. New Yorkers are assholes. Period.
Chad, I didn't say it. I'm not the one that said it. Don't come at me. Come for him, dude.
No, dude. If they're from New York, they know. That's where I take that heritage. But no, it's nicer. I say it's nicer. You get more of the countryside. Like I was in like a suburb of a suburb of a suburb, that type of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. But I never would have imagined a twister there. But yes, that is I don't even know how we got to this point. But yes, for those that don't know, I am genuinely not bullshitting. I am that afraid of twisters, tornadoes. Like I can't man. I can't do it.
The second you saw pictures of blades of grass shoved through trees, you lost your shit.
No, dude, there'd be like pieces of wood, right? Like just random like fragments of wood that have gone through concrete. Like cleanly, you know what I mean? Like it didn't leave a trail. It just went through concrete cleanly. That's when I said, "Yeah, this isn't for me. I'm not doing this."
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, where I live is some weird valley mix, so most of them go around us.
Fucking hell, dude! I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, basically, this is basically. I will take an earthquake any day of the week before I try to tackle a tsunami or a goddamn twister. Which, by the way, have you seen the remake of Twisters? I don't know if I'm gonna watch it or not.
Not yet. I find it funny that they released it the same time of year, and it's like damn near peak tornado season.
I think that was intentional.
They did that the last time too with the original, because actually what was funny is when the original came out, we went and saw it in the theater, and there was a hefty thunderstorm that hit while we were in the theater.
Jeez.
And we thought there was going to be a tornado. And plus, you didn't even tap on one thing about tornadoes that most people forget about: hail.
Does it hail during a tornado?
It usually does. Either precedes the tornado, during it, or after it.
Oh, so great. So I'm gonna get a concussion before I even experience the tornado. Awesome.
Like I said, dude, it was leading into the summer of when I was in 5th grade. We lived in a very small town, and we got hit with a storm. This was a tornado that was literally just shy of a mile away from the house, but it was softball size hail. Softball size hail.
What the fuck?
It was going through our roof, like.
Jesus Christ, dude, that is insane.
It punched 3 holes in our roof right above our office. It shattered all the windows on the north side of our house. All of our siding got thrashed. And one of our neighbors down the street, they had a piece of hail go through their front window, and it was the size of a dinner plate.
Brother, I don't. So not only do you have to worry about the twister itself, but now you got to worry about not getting a concussion, from freaking softball size hail balls coming down. That is just, you know what? I think God just doesn't like some places more than others. It's like with me and Darktree. So he likes some of us more than others. He just doesn't want some of us to win it at Battleship. So he just doesn't really want some of us to win at life. Y'all are just screwed. What did he say? Plasma Dragon Airsoft was saying at the end of the July, there have been 126 confirmed touchdowns in Iowa. 126.
That's about average to maybe not a little
average.
Slow. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Act right. Damn. Nature, you scary.
Like it. I mean, there's been years where there's been like over 200.
Okay. Now here's the best question though. Here's a good question. Let's assume it's not immediate. Let's say you're playing out in the airsoft field. I think you already know where I'm going with this. Let's say if you're playing airsoft and you get, and maybe a couple miles out, like let's say 4 miles away, there's a tornado warning. You gonna play, or is that considered not safe? Is that stupid?
Like 2 hours away, there's a tornado warning?
4 miles away. 4 miles away.
4 miles away, tornado warning.
Yes.
I would play.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you draw the line?
When it turns into a tornado watch.
Oh. That's fair. It's just because you said like the freaking the one that touched down in Des Moines, right? The one that had traveled 9 miles. That thing, like, okay, so like I know that's pretty far for a tornado. But I don't know what the average is like in terms of travel, like distance for most twisters, right? Especially at that category.
They're usually like the one that tore through Des Moines was like a what was it? Like
F4?
an F2 or something?
Oh, just an F2?
No, it was like an F2. Yeah, if it was like an F2 or an F1, it was a small one. If it would have been an F3 or bigger, it would have done a lot of damage. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how to answer that one.
Okay, now let's assume it's no tornado. Let's assume no tornado. Would you play in the hail?
Okay. Oh, hell no.
I kind of okay.
Hell no.
It's just maybe in my head, like too. Obviously, I know that if it gets to a certain size, obviously you can get some serious like injury from that. But in my mind, initially, whenever I think of hail, I have to remember hail is like comes in all variety of shapes and sizes. But like when I think of hail, I just think of like spicy snow. You know?
It's I mean. Oh yeah, plasma. I got them mixed up. Never mind.
Oh yeah. When it comes from a tornado watch to a tornado warning. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. I mean, you get the idea.
I've lived here long. For me, I've lived here long enough. It's like half the time if I see it. I live in a job where I potentially could have a car drop on me at any moment. So
I love what Jason said. F2, P harder than that.
But hail, I mean, for me, hail, it's annoying. It hurts. It damages cars. Also, in my youth, In idiocy, me and my friends have tried to catch hail in our mouths before.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Oh my god. Please tell me these friends and you still have your teeth.
yeah, I do. Only one person got close and it popped him right in the lip.
Oh, I can already
Yeah.
feel it.
And it was, I want to say it was the size of like a quarter.
Jesus Christ, dude. That's so bad. I can already feel like the blood coming out of my lips just from the oh god, I'm getting gross.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that. I'm
and
getting
like
queasy.
And like Plasma said, you can't play in hail because you'll never know when you get hit by hail or BB.
That's
it all
true.
sounds the same.
Everyone better be calling their hits. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
Mother Nature wants to play airsoft too.
Yeah.
Hailing out.
That's okay. Hail is official. Hail during airsoft is officially somebody called in an AC 130.
Hey, yo, actually, that's kind of cool, though. I didn't think about that. That's freaking genius, dude. Dude, hell yeah. All right, man. It is now 9:29. It's basically the end of the live stream. Squirrely, thank you so much for joining me on today's live stream, dude. I had an absolute blast. I didn't even realize it was 9:30. I completely lost track of time, dude. But honestly, thank you so much for coming out, dude. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah. I mean, sorry again for the emergency coming up last time, but
Dude, you are
shit
totally
happens.
fine. Like, dude, I would rather you do that than leave your friend out on the road. That is a good thing that you did. I'm glad you did that. If that ever happens, do not be afraid to do that.
Yeah, but no, thanks for having me. Like always, man. If I'm available, I will always hop on and hang out with you guys and talk the airsoft goodness.
No, it's always appreciated whenever you and everyone else that's ever jumped onto these live streams as a guest is always really appreciated that I have someone to bounce off these topics with as well. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself one last minute plug and let everyone know where they can go ahead and follow you if they want to support you and whatever it is that you do.
Yeah, guys. Squirrely Nuts Airsoft on YouTube. Also, it's the exact same on Instagram. Go subscribe, watch the videos, hit the likes, hit the bell icon. Follow me on Instagram. Contact me for, my patches and whatnot, and come check out the streams. Every Monday, we got the game stream at 8 p.m. Central. And Wednesdays, we have the Talkin' Tactical series where we talk the airsoft goodness from my weird perspective. 8 p.m. Central Wednesday nights.
Absolutely. All right, guys. It's been. Oh no, okay, we'll go for mine. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you were finished.
Oh, yeah, and also coming up, I do have a short coming out leading to a final makeup giveaway for you guys. So keep your eyes out for that one.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
Have yourself a good night, man.
Yeah, you too, brother.
All right, guys, that is going to be the end of the live stream. Big shout out to everyone that, again, just tuned in for tonight's live stream. Especially big shout out to everyone that did indeed place their orders during the duration of this live stream. If you took advantage of the promotions, well, guess what? You're going to be very handsomely rewarded. Make sure to go ahead and give this live stream one last like if you have not already. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we drop new content on the channel like this live stream. Again, these streams are important if you want to maximize your potential of winning the next shopping spree giveaway. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys that has tuned in and chose to spend your free time hanging out with myself and the rest of the Mayo Gang. It literally means the world to me that you guys decide to do this every single time. I don't ever forget that, and I don't ever take that for granted. You guys have yourself a wonderful night. It's been Isaias. Take it easy, guys.